All right, we're going to be heading into what could potentially be the final game of this race survival series. Mind has been doing an absolute excellent job of sniping everybody in his path. The final boss for him is going to be Shuttle, aka Water. Can Shuttle hold on? Can Shuttle stop this Terran onslaught? We'll have to see. The final map is going to be Luna the Final. In the bottom right-hand corner, in the brown, absolutely on fire, it is going to be Mind. Absolutely excellent play in the last game. Just fantastic job of dismantling Jaedong's build. Up in the top right-hand corner, in the yellow, the last hope for Protoss, it's going to be Shuttle. Shuttle has not shown up since his first season of ASL, where he actually won the ASL, but unfortunately that was before Flash, that was before last started really getting going, so we haven't really seen Shuttle reach that level since. I wouldn't say that he's necessarily played in the ASL 1 that he played phenomenally, because back then we were at a bit of a rocky period where Brood War was still trying to get back on its feet in terms of live events. It had been in the Sonic Star League era, but even that had kind of come to a close as Sonic was forced to close down his leagues, and a lot of the top players like Killer had to retire and go off to the army. So we haven't really seen Shuttle reach that same level that he played at before. However, he's still a contender of the Protoss race, one of the better players out there. Certainly no Bisu, certainly no Snow level player, but he is well known for very unorthodox and strange plays, so there's a possibility maybe he could catch his opponent off guard in this match. So far, Mind going for a bit of a proxy Rex. This is not a cheesy build. This is just to go ahead and get some pressure out on the map right now. Unfortunately, gets scouted first by this Pro. The Pro will be able to start chipping away at this SCV, force another SCV to be pulled to actually deal with this. If you're a new player like me, this is probably a pain to actually deal with it. But I think we should be in pretty good shape to actually hold this off. In any case, we actually see that Shuttle has pulled off his gas entirely. He's going to be going for a very fast expansion, knowing that his opponent is going for this proxy build, going for a little bit more of an aggressive build as opposed to a safety build. So he's just going to be building two Zealots, moving them out across the map right now, and behind that he's probably just going to be taking a very fast expansion without a Dragoon, because you don't really need a Dragoon this early. It's not a big deal. So the Zealot and the SCV high-fived over there, and Zealot's going to be coming in here, trying to get some harassment out on the main area. Factory coming down for Mind probably in the next couple of seconds. Maybe he actually just cut entirely to get faster CC. So far, the gas games from both players have been a little bit strange to see. But a couple SCVs out in the natural are going to be able to block this Zealot and push it away. Just be careful with that one SCV, make sure it doesn't get sniped. And yeah, Mind is actually going to be pulling off gas entirely and going for that faster CC. So a little bit weird movements that we've been seeing out of both these players. Maybe Mind thinking that he was under more pressure than he originally thought, so instead he went for the faster CC, thinking that he could pull off the pressure well, but as a result he's ended up losing one of his SCVs so far, and with this third Zealot coming in, there's a possibility he could lose even more. Shuttle, meanwhile, still hasn't taken a natural, so it's a little bit surprising to see him commit this heavily to the Zealot production without anything behind it. So now that the Marine count is built up pretty nicely, losing the probe in the main, that was a little bit unfortunate, a little bit of a misstep for him. Zealot's going to be coming in here trying to kill off a little bit more. He's going to be able to kill off one, maybe two more SCVs, and maybe a couple Marines, so he needs to pull back with these. I would have liked for him to actually keep that one last Zealot alive, but unfortunately that's going to be going down. And Mind is health right now. He's had to invest a lot into these Marines, and as a result his factory is pretty late compared to the robotics facility of his opponent. But as you can see, there's a pretty big difference here, and that is that Shuttle still hasn't gotten a natural. There's still no natural down for him. So he's pretty committed to doing some sort of one base play with this, and I think it might actually be, it's going to be the Reaver drops coming down and taking a natural behind that. With Reaver drops, there is potential for you to blast up all the way to 3 bases. You don't really need to make Dragoons to defend against your opponent. You don't really have to focus on getting a ton of gateways early on. So you can just blast straight up to 3 bases pretty easily and pretty safely on the back of Reaver drops. So it's not that bad of a situation for our Protoss player right now, but I would say that Mind has a pretty solid lead right now. He's done a really good job of getting his natural expansion up economically, while also getting a decent number of Marines for defense. Also done a really great job of scouting out his opponent and seeing what's going on. So here comes the first Reaver, and Shuttle's just going to be shuttling that over immediately, trying to get some damage done, but a little bit of foresight coming out from Mind, going ahead and going straight up to the starport immediately so that he can have some drop defense against his opponent. He knows his opponent's going to be going for some sort of weird play on one base, so the things that come to mind are Reaver drops, going for DT drops as well. Those are both things that we kind of expect to see from one base play, so as long as you get a Wraith, maybe even an early... Oh, that was a big hit. So there's actually no defense here for Mind for a little while. Losing all those Marines is a pretty big deal, and this is actually kind of disastrous for him. Really good hit there. That was really nice. And going to be able to pick off a couple more SCVs as well in the main, and this is pretty disastrous for Mind. Even though he was doing a pretty good job early on, he's found himself in a pretty difficult position. Luckily, the first Wraith is going to be coming out pretty soon, but I think at this point, we're probably just going to see Shuttle going for broke. He's just going to try to kill off as many SCVs as possible with this Reaver. Try to suicide it. He doesn't mind losing it. He's done a bunch of damage with it. Unfortunately, this Zealot doing a little bit less than exemplary in this particular situation, but Mind has lost a lot of SCVs. He's lost a lot of mining time, and this has evened up the economies for both players. Shuttle, unfortunately, is going to lose the Shuttle. It's going to be going down to the Wraith, and he's going to have to put a couple of units in position to defend against that one Wraith and the harassment on the middle line. I like that immediately Mind is going for the control tower. He's going to be looking to get maybe Cloak for a couple of Wraiths, maybe going up to 3 or 4 Wraiths with Cloak, just to do some economic damage, and maybe foresight cannons, or he could just be going into a dropship, going for some vulture drops into the main and the natural as well. So there's lots of cool stuff that he could be doing. I really do like the idea of drop play, because you have so much control over the skies now with this Wraith that it kind of allows you to do basically anything you would want to do. So far, pretty good micro coming out from Shuttle, trying to keep these couple of probes alive, transferring them between mineral lines, so that's very nice to see. We'll have to see what Mind pulls out right now. Is he going to go for that dropship play? Is he going to go for heavier air play instead? Things that come to mind, oh gosh. So second factory coming out from Mind. Looks like he is going to be going pretty heavily into those vultures. We're probably going to be seeing vulture drops come in. And the Shuttle being scouted out, looks like it has a Dragoon in it, so it's going to be able to push back the Wraith for now. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's much else that Shuttle can actually get done with these drops. He's going to have to probably just rely on the pressure of the drops to take his third base without actually trying to do any more damage. If he tries to force the issue too much, he's going to run into a problem where he ends up losing the dropship for free and ends up taking too much damage. Smart play right here to go ahead and start sieging down the natural, finding at least one opening in his opponent's defenses. Unfortunately, there's one annoying SCV here who's going to be able to repair that bunker. And with Siege Tank siege mode coming out right now. It's going to push this way pretty solidly. Actually, a third shuttle coming out. This is so weird. You almost never see this many shuttles. I wonder if this is just a response to Shuttle maybe expecting heavy drop play. Wow, he's actually just going to go for a big drop into the main, it looks like. He's got this pressure out at the front, forces his opponent to really defend, and I don't think that Mine is prepared for this. Mine is moving a couple of units to the side, trying to look for other places to drop, but there might actually just be, this might actually just be a Bulldog. I think this might be a Bulldog straight up the front. There's only a couple tanks there in defense. Oh, and here comes the drops. They're going to be dropping right on top of the tanks. And even the... Oh, big attacks. Oh, my God. The Scarab hits are huge from that Reaver. And he's going to get it out alive. Is he going to be able to kill off a couple more SCVs? Good damage coming in. I'm not sure if it did enough damage, though. He really needs to pull back with the rest of his units and maybe not go in here all in. This has been really good, even killing off the factory, or the barracks that's going to cause factories to be delayed for quite a while, and picking off even one more tank. This is so nice for him so far. So really well played by Shuttle. He got a lot of damage done there, and he's producing tons of units behind this. I don't want him to push any further into this base, though, because he really wants to conserve as many units as he can now that he's done so much damage to his opponent's economy. Just macro up and go in for the next attack. Sick stuff. Mine is really struggling to deal with this pressure that's coming out from Shuttle. This is something I don't think any of us expected to see. Shuttle just going absolutely crazy. Shuttle living up to his name. Thank you, Dr. Davis. That is a good pun. I'm good with that. So more units coming out right now, and mine just throwing away units trying to push this back. But here comes another shuttle. We're going to be bulldogging on top of these remaining tanks, and there aren't really any mines to defend against this. Here it comes. Can the shuttle survive long enough to actually drop all the zealots? It looks like it dropped all of them, and they get right on top of the tanks. Two of them going down. Will the third one go down? Will he be able to get on top of the third? Sorry, the fourth? Maybe not. But in any case, he's killed off even more SCVs and gained position once again on this natural. Now, Mine can't even mine from his natural. He's taken so much damage, he doesn't have enough tanks to really push this back, and third base of Shuttle is flourishing. This has been such an absolutely fantastic build from Shuttle, and all he has to do is continue pushing things in over and over and over. Continue to build shuttles. He's actually just going to continue to do these bulldog rushes at his opponent over and over and over. And I think that's a pretty solid play to make. When you're ahead in economy, you're ahead in the tech, you might as well just go ahead and ram units into your opponent. Take somewhat cost-inefficient trades, because eventually it will pay off for you. Mine's going to try to go for a run-by with these vultures, but there are a couple units in position. They're going to be able to pick off these units before they actually do any real damage. Luckily, there's also some cannons over here by the third base, so not even a problem to defend against vultures over there, and I think it's also a very solid wall as well. Shuttle just has all the cards in his favor. All he has to do is win the game. It's really all it takes. I know it sounds really simple, but, you know, you gotta just win the game. Here comes another Bulldog right on top of these with the Reaver as well. So, good damage coming down, and now being able to drop inside the mineral line. And there's the GG. Mine knows that it's over. He can't do it anymore, and Protoss stays alive in the KCM Race Survival Wars.